Hello everyone. Usually when we talk about economic measures such as the gross domestic product, price level, national domestic product and certain other things like national income or any other economic indicator, they are very huge and bulky numbers. They can range from anything between a 6-digit number to a 7-digit number. So it becomes very difficult for us to analyze and interpret these kind of heavy and bulky numbers. Index numbers is a very simple method of simplifying these bulky numbers and having a representative number which makes these bulky numbers more understandable. I am Mrs. Shumaila Hassan, Department of Humanities, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. And today in this module we are going to explore about index numbers. The objectives that we are going to cover in this module are: first, understanding the meaning of index numbers. Second, we are going to concentrate on usage of index numbers. Third, we are going to elaborate what are the characteristics of index numbers. And lastly, we are going to see what are the advantages and the problems in construction of index numbers. Let's first understand what is the meaning of the term index number. We have heard the word economic barometer. If we split these two words, economic and barometer, we have all studied that a barometer is an instrument which is used for measuring pressure. And economic is something which is related to an economy. Therefore, when we sum up these two words, we can conclude that in order to measure the pressures of the economic variables over a period of time, index numbers are used. So therefore, we can call index numbers as economic barometers for any economy. An index number, therefore, is a statistical device for measuring relative changes in magnitude of group of related variables over the period of time. For example, if we are measuring the relative changes in the price level of 2011 and 2020, it is an example of measurement of by index numbers. Also, if we are measuring the GDP from 2012 and 2020, a comparison, therefore, we can also say that this is a case of index numbers, and it will be helpful for all of us to convert these values in the representative numbers, that is the index numbers. Secondly, the index numbers are always expressed in terms of percentages. Now, what do we mean by expression in percentage? Expression in percentage means that they are relative measure of changes from one period to another. Like I already mentioned, comparison from one period to another, that is over a period of time. So therefore, we need to have two periods here in order to measure certain relative changes in the values of variables. The one period is known as the base year and the other period is known as the current year. Now here I mentioned two words, base year and current year. Base year is nothing but a year taken for the comparison of related variables. Say for example, if 2012 GDP and 2020 GDP are being compared, then the base year would be 2012. The index number for base year is always taken as 100. And while comparing, we calculate the index number for the current year. In this case, 2012 is the base year, 2020 is going to be the current year. Let's say after all the calculations, if we get the index number for 2020 as 132, we subtract the value 100 from 132 and we can get the relative change, that is the percentage change in the GDP in comparison of 2012 and 2020 as 32%. Therefore, the study of index numbers helps us to compare the relative changes in the variables from one base year to the another current year. Let's talk about the characteristics or the features of index numbers now. The first characteristic feature of index numbers is that index numbers are specialized averages. Now, what do we mean by specialized averages? Specialized averages are those averages which are meant for comparison of two different values which are measured in two different units. Let's say for example, number of oranges are measured in number of units, but there would be something else like wheat that is measured in kilograms. So how to bring them together for comparison? So index number is one of the most sophisticated tools which is used in statistics in order to measure things which are actually measured in different units. Second characteristic. The index numbers measure relative changes in variables and not absolute changes in variables. By absolute changes, we mean the exact value of change that we calculate, and the relative change is something which is converted into percentages. So therefore, index numbers always measure relative changes in the value of variables and not absolute changes. Third characteristic, they measure a change in the values from the base year to the current year. And lastly, they form the basis of comparison between two different periods of time. It is very important for us to analyze the differences in certain variables, let's say sales of a particular company over the period of time, in order to have some improvisation in the policies of the company. So this is all about the characteristic features of index numbers. Let's go on to the uses of index numbers. That means, why is it important for us to calculate and know index numbers? The first most important use of index numbers is the formulation of policies. Now these policies could be government policies, let's say for an employee provident fund, and it could be the sales policies or advertisement policies of different companies. But they cannot go for formulation of such policies, whether it is government or any other company, if they do not know the trends that a certain industry or a certain country follows for a certain period of time. When we measure the price level changes between certain periods, let's say 2011 and 2020, only then we will be able to know that what is the increase or decrease in the rate of inflation or deflation for a particular economy. Next use. It measures the changes in the standard of living of the people of a country. Now, standard of living can be measured with the help of the literacy rate, it could be measured with the help of poverty rate, it could be measured with the help of the medical facilities available to a particular country. Next use. It is very important for government to study the trends. Index numbers indicate what has been the trend of a particular company, let's say whether it is GDP, what has been the price, what has been the trends in the industry, let's say whether it is a software industry or an advertising industry or any other particular kind of corporate world. So these trends are actually studied with the help of interpretations which can be done with the help of index numbers. Index numbers prove to be a very helpful device for businessmen around the world. If they are not aware that what has been happening in their industry for about, let's say, 10 to 15 years, they will not be able to forecast another 15 years from now. So therefore, in order to know the trends in their business industry as well as the industry outside the country, it is very important for the businessmen to make a comparison of two periods of time. And lastly, it is very important for us to know the trends in the import and the export businesses. Again, index numbers can be very helpful in calculating the rate of exports and the rate of imports for a particular company in order to determine that what is going to be the future of this industry in the times to come. Now let's throw some light on what are the problems in construction of index numbers. First, I will enlist all the problems that arise during construction of index numbers. First is the definition of purpose. Second is the selection of the base year. Third is the selection of the items and their values. Fourth is the collection of data related to the prices and quantities. Next is the assignment of weights. Next, selection of a suitable averaging. And lastly, choice of an appropriate formula for calculation of index numbers. Now let's take these problems one by one and elaborate them a little. The first one is selection of the purpose for calculation of index numbers. Now at the outset, we have to decide that what is the purpose of calculation of index numbers. Whether you are calculating the cost of living index in order to know the standard of living of people, or are you calculating the index numbers for calculation of inflation or deflation of an economy. The second problem that arises is the selection of a proper base year. Now there is no set formula for calculation of a base year. Usually we take a base year in which we have least number of fluctuations with respect to inflations and differences in the price level. But you can change your preferences, you can take any of the years as your base year, but the base year should be an year at least 5 years prior to your current year. The third problem is selection of the number of items. We require different items, or here we can call them as variables, for calculation of index numbers and their comparison. So therefore, for this purpose, with alignment of your purpose that you selected in the first step, your items should be standardized and graded, and they should be capable of measurement. The next problem arises, that's a very common problem of economists and statisticians: collection of data. Collection of data, primary or secondary, sources of collection of data, tools for collection of data for a construction of index numbers should be very carefully investigated and selected so that we do not go wrong with our database. The next problem is assignment of weights. Now here, weights mean nothing but assigning importance. Importance to different items that are used for calculating index numbers. We have two different types of weights, or in fact I can say two different types of items that can be included in calculation of index numbers. One is weighted and second is unweighted. For weighted, all the items under consideration are given equal importance, and under unweighted, the items are given importance according to the expenditure that is done on such kind of items. If we are spending more, it will have more weight. If we are spending less, it will have less weight. Now, while calculation of index numbers, a very important selection process has to be followed in order to select the average that will be used for calculation of index numbers. Usually, we go in for arithmetic mean or geometric mean. Other measures of central tendency, such as mode and median, are not used for calculation of index numbers due to certain inbuilt limitations. And the last and the most important problem that we face in construction of index numbers is the selection of the formula for calculation of a proper index number. Your formula should be aligned with the purpose of your calculation of index numbers. There are n number of formulas available for statistical calculations of index numbers, such as the Laspeyres formula, the Parse formula, the Fisher's formula, and the consumer price index. So therefore, your formula should be in line with the purpose of your construction of index numbers. So this was all about the meaning of index numbers, uses of index numbers, advantages of construction of index numbers, and the problems that we face in construction of index numbers. In our next module, we are going to throw light on the different formulas that are used for calculation of index numbers, such as the Parse formula, Fisher's formula, and the Laspeyres formula, and also we are going to see what is consumer price index.